Good morning to all of you. I'm grateful to the Week magazine for inviting me to make a brief presentation on what they have seductively titled the Tamil model and the Delhi model. I suppose it is to incite your curiosity and what is the Tamil model and what is the Delhi model. The Chief Minister just now described it as the Dravida model and the double engine model. I would like to approach it slightly differently. I think all governments, whether it's the central government or the state government, and governments of all parties are bound by a financial discipline. There may be breaches from time to time, but ultimately you will have to, by and large, observe the financial discipline. There is a constitution. There is the requirement to present an annual statement of revenues and expenditure. There is a constitutional requirement that every rupee can only be spent after an appropriation bill is passed in Parliament. There is a Reserve Bank of India which determines monetary policy. There is a controller of government accounts who keeps a close watch on every rupee that is spent from the government. And there is the Comptroller and Auditor General who, although after 2 or 3 years, points out the lapses, and ultimately there is the people of India who will judge you every 5 years or so. Therefore, you can't escape these constraints. Within these constraints, there is a lot of room to identify your priorities and to make policies accordingly. My presentation today, I have taken 3 states, and I'll tell you why I've taken these 3 states. One is obviously Tamil Nadu, because we're talking about the Tamil model. The other state is a state of Uttar Pradesh, the largest state in India in terms of population, and nearly as large as geographically larger states. So in terms of population and geography, it's a very large state. If it was a separate country, it would be among the most populous countries of the world. The third state I have chosen is Bihar. Because Bihar is something of this and something of that. While Tamil Nadu has been ruled by a single party, and I'm not referring to parties, while Tamil Nadu has been ruled by a single party government Since 1952, there have been a succession of parties, but it's always been a single party government. Bihar has had coalition governments since the mid-1970s, whereas Uttar Pradesh followed a single party government except for a brief period. And that single party usually had a simple majority in the assembly. But for the last 15 or 20 years, 15 years at least, the party in the government in the center is also ruling the state. So we have three models. One is the Tamil Nadu model, where the center and the state are different parties, not necessarily hostile to each other, sometimes friendly, sometimes hostile, but two different parties. Whereas in Uttar Pradesh, for the last 15 years or so, it is the same party in the Delhi who's ruling the party, ruling the government in the state. And in Bihar, it is a mixed model. A state party and a central party have been in power for several years. I've taken these three states and I'm going to show a series of slides. But I must utter a word of caution. The data in India is completely unreliable. You access different documents, different sources, you will get different data. The worst culprit, the worst difficult is that we have no census since 2011. For 14 years, we are estimating population. We don't count population. And that is the most important factor in approaching any statistics, any data. How many people are there? How many people are there in the country? How many people are there in every state? How many people are there in every district? What is the composition of the people? What is the demographics of the people? We don't know. All these are based on estimates. And once you don't know the population, all ratios are suspect. For example, even to calculate per capita income is suspect if you don't know the population. Anyway, with that caveat, that data is suspect in India, data is not deliberately suspect, it's unfortunately suspect, it's unreliable. With that caveat, I would like you to look at the slides. Now, there are 16 slides. It won't take more than 30 seconds to display every slide. So we can have here these slide presentation one by one. Now, Tamil Nadu's population is only about 40% of UP's population. Bihar falls somewhere in the middle. These are 2011 census numbers. Updated estimated numbers today, Tamil Nadu is about 8.5 crore. UP is about 24.5 crore. And Bihar is about 13.3 crores. So the population is substantially increased. It is very substantially increased in UP, moderately increased in Bihar, And Tamil Nadu, because as you will see, because it's reached below 1.6 fertility rate, the Tamil Nadu population is more or less stabilized except for migration. The second slide shows you the net domestic product. Tamil Nadu is about 27.92 lakh crore. UP is less at 26 crore. Although its population is 1.5 times Tamil Nadu's population, UP is 26 lakh crore. And Bihar is appallingly low. It's only about 8.99 lakh crore. It's about 9 lakh crore. 9 lakh crore is 1/3 of UP's and 1/3 of Tamil Nadu's net state domestic product. The per capita income shows up the difference between Tamil Nadu and the other two states. While Tamil Nadu's per capita income in 24-25 is 3,87,000 rupees. It's per capita, not per family, per capita. UP is 1,30,000, roughly 1/3. And Bihar is even appallingly low, 86,000 rupees. 86,000 rupees means a little over 200 rupees a day. Keep in mind that most people in Bihar, the average person in Bihar, gets a per capita income of a little over 200 rupees a day. The per capita income growth rate in Tamil Nadu has been 15.41%. In UP and Bihar is more or less the same, a little over 11%. The unemployment rate, which is the most suspect number in India, unemployment rate, it's more or less the same across the states. Actually, it's sometimes surprising that the unemployment rate officially reported for Tamil Nadu is 3.5, whereas UP is less and Bihar is even less. Now, this is, this will come as a surprise to most partisan observers. It will come as a shock to neutral observers. How can it be that with such low per capita income, such low net state domestic product, which a fast-growing population, the unemployment rate in Bihar is only 3%. So I don't believe these numbers, but these are the numbers that I could access. And the poverty head count is the inverse of the unemployment rate. Although Tamil Nadu's unemployment rate is 3.5%, the poverty head count is 1.4. Whereas UP has a poverty head count of 17.4 and Bihar is 26.6. This is directly correlatable to the low per capita income, low GSTP of the state. The labor force participation is again suspect number. Unemployment is disguised as self-employment, and underemployment is disguised as employment. So when you read an unemployment number, you read it with a ton of salt. I don't believe these unemployment numbers, but then these are the numbers officially reported. The labor force participation rate is 58.6 in Tamil Nadu, 56.8 in UP, and 46.1 in Bihar. It shows up in measurable numbers. The state of poverty, the state of unemployment, the low per capita income, all shows up in measurable numbers. These are two clearly measurable numbers. Maternal mortality rate. The mother dies during childbirth because of lack of institutional facilities for birthing a child. Tamil Nadu's 35 per thousand, 35 per lakh, 100,000. UP is 141 and Bihar is 104. And the under 5 mortality rate, what we call infant mortality rate, is 13 in Tamil Nadu, 42 in UP, and 27 in Bihar. These are measurable numbers. They can't be fudged too much because hospital records are there, birth records are there, death records are there. Usually hospital records are correct because they have to account for every death in a hospital. And the fertility rate, of course, is 1.8, but it's come down. This is 1.8 in 2019-21. It's now, I think, 1.6 or lower. It's only when the census will come, we will know the number. Whereas UP and Bihar are far above the national average. The replacement rate is 2.1. Unless we reach 2.1, the population will not stabilize. UP and Bihar are far above the replacement rate, whereas the southern states are well below the replacement rate, and Tamil Nadu is about 1.6 or even lower. Literacy rate was 80, 67, and 61. This is 2011 numbers. These have improved significantly. Tamil Nadu is 85, UP is 78, and Bihar is 70. Now look at what the government has to deal with. Tamil Nadu's expenditure budget is 4,39,293 crore, whereas UP is 8,0736 crore. Bihar is much lower. Despite UP spending more because its population is almost 2.5 times Tamil Nadu, that amount is insufficient to push up the growth rate. The debt to GDP ratio, again a suspect number, because I think the GSDPs are suspect numbers, 26%, 29%, and 37%. But the more important thing is that relative number, comparative number. Tamil Nadu has a low debt to GDP ratio, whereas Bihar is a high. The fiscal deficit, again, Tamil Nadu reports 3%, UP reports 2.97, which is more or less the same, and Bihar represents 2.9. Revenue deficit is, this last number is wrong. Tamil Nadu's revenue deficit, whereas UP is surplus and Bihar is also surplus. That number, I don't know where it's an obvious typo. Bihar is revenue surplus according to the budget. What does it show? It shows that party in the center and the party in the state must be the same in order to push development is a false, bogus argument. It doesn't make any difference if the two parties are different. In fact, it may impetus to growth if the state takes a position slightly confronting the center. If you have the same kind of people from the same party, the same thinking, you tend to go along without confronting the center, without disagreeing with the center. And agreement does not mean there is prosperity. Agreement does not mean there's growth. Agreement does not mean that you are faster on the development scale. That is one line. The second is, while single party model or the coalition party model is at large, the jury is out still. I don't think there is any definitive conclusion that a single party model or a coalition model is superior to another. But it surely shows that a single party government is more coherent than a coalition government. In fact, in the 1970s, you will remember, when the Congress was on the wane and the regional parties rose, there was a complete mishmash of governments throughout the 10 decades. And it is those 10 decades which caused a severe setback to the north, the Hindi heartland states, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh. Then, of course, there was no Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. But those states suffered a severe setback because what we call the Samyukta Vidal governments. But a two-party coalition or a three-party coalition, which is which is mostly on the same philosophy, may deliver. So I don't think there's any definitive conclusion, but surely shows that this model of a double-engine government is a bogus argument. It could be two parties, it could be a single party, it could be different parties, it could be friendly parties, it could be opposite parties, but that makes no difference. It's only the determination of the state government which will push the state forward and not by its composition. So we are now back to the question where we started. There is a Tamil model, clear, delivered results. I have some reservations, but it's delivered results. There is this peculiar animal called double-engine government. I've never understood what is this double-engine government is. The center and the state are two governments, and the two governments must always work as a double engine pushing the train, irrespective of who's the engineer in the first engine or who's the engineer in the second engine. Apparently, those who rule in Delhi take the view that a double engine government must be driven by a single engineer. The engines may be two, but the engineer must be one. I reject that. I think that is the antithesis of federalism, antithesis of the democratic aspirations of each state, and each state must be entitled to elect its own government and its own leaders, and the center is obliged to work with every leader irrespective of who the leader is or who the party is. The double engine government is a bogus argument, and if the Delhi model prescribed in the title of this presentation means a double engine government, I reject the government. One last word. Different results, different outcomes are there in the three states. But the common thread that runs to it, while our planners are good, our designers are good, our conceptual leaders are good, we fail in execution. The quality of the execution, quality of our infrastructure is appalling. I travel extensively. I travel extensively in Tamil Nadu. I see public infrastructure. If only the quality of execution was good, was slightly better, we can stretch the rupee even further. The quality of execution is poor in all states. Some states are better, some states are good. But I can't believe that a bridge under construction can fall. I can't believe that a bridge under construction can fall twice. How can they be in this day and age of 2026 that you can't construct even a bridge? And why does it fall when the construction is underway? Why does it fall twice? I only would urge that this model or that model, the quality of execution must vastly improve. We build schools, we build libraries, we build hospitals, we build public buildings, we build our own houses. Middle class people in rural India build houses. Why do those houses last for 50, 60 years? My grandfather's house was built in 1903 and it's still sturdy and standing. But buildings, school buildings, library buildings, hospital buildings collapse after 10 years and 20 years. Therefore, the great difficulty, the great defect in our state governments is the quality of execution. No chief minister can inspect every building, but down the line, there are many, many officers, many thousand officers at different levels, but the quality of execution is poor. It's only when the quality of execution becomes better that the rupee will stretch further, and states which are poorly governed can stretch their rupee further. It's the quality of governance and quality of execution which makes the state a faster developing state. But my conclusion is on the Tamil model and the Delhi model, and I suppose it's a euphemism for a double engine model, I certainly think that the data that I presented of three states surely shows that the double engine argument is a bogus argument and must be rejected. But we can do better, and we can do infinitely better in well-governed states as in poorly governed states if only the administration pays attention to execution and the people focus on the quality of execution. People accept it. We lay pavements, we accept the chips in the pavement, the breakages in the pavement. We don't protest. We build a school building, it crumbles in 5 years, the people accept it. People must become intolerant. They must loudly say this is unacceptable if the quality of execution is poor. Governance is one thing, execution is another. Governance is a mixture of policy and ideas, but it's execution of that policy, execution of the project, which will make a difference to the people. Thank you.